Hello and welcome to my 1 hour 1 life video. This video is the first part of 3 in a tutorial series I wanted to create to help new players learn about the game and its mechanics. I'm going to try to go slowly and be thorough, so please feel free to use the chapters to hop around or change the playback speed to speed up the video. It can feel like a lot of information right off the bat, so please take breaks and come back if it feels overwhelming at any point. Starting off, we're looking at the main screen. I'll walk you through each of the options, starting with the top left with the Services button. Services appears to be a new feature that the creator of the game, Jason, is trying out. As a new player, you probably will not use this for now, so we'll go back to the main screen. Moving to the top right-hand corner, we have a button called Tutorial. This is the tutorial for the game that you are required to view prior to playing. Although you can speed through the tutorial, I recommend playing through it a few times to familiarize yourself with the core game mechanics. I'll cover this in another video. We'll move down to the center of the page, which says 48 lives left. New life every 5 minutes when below 48 lives. This statement can be sometimes confusing to new players. So 48 seemed to just be a random number that Jason, the creator of the game, chose when coding the game, and the number regenerates every 5 minutes. He added this feature because you can use the command /die to respawn into a new family. This is often used to get back into a previous family or to spawn into a brand new family. So basically you can ignore this because most players won't use the die command that often. Dropping down, we can see Steam ID and key. If you click this button, you can see your Steam ID and key code. Now looking to the right, we can see the genetic fitness and my current gene score. Within the community, the gene score doesn't really matter that much, but it can affect your chances to become a leader or a mother. We'll talk more about what affects your gene score when we look into the genes button here in a moment. First, I wanted to point out that the login button is here. This will be the button that you use to log into the game when you have finished the tutorial. I believe it only appears when you have finished the tutorial or at least clicked through it. Next, we'll look into genes. On this page, we have a lot of information that can be overwhelming to new players, so I wanted to walk you through it. Starting with the top left, we have the back button. You can click that to leave the page. Then to the right, we have leaderboard. This opens up a web page to the 1 hour 1 life website. On this website, you can look at game news, updates, photos taken in game, the tech tree, and more. Right now, we're looking at the leaderboard. On the leaderboard, we can see all sorts of people with high gene scores, which can be like a badge of honor because it doesn't really do anything. Still, nice work to anyone who gets up here because it means that you probably helped your families a lot. So reading off the table that we have in front of us, this is my most recent genetic history and the accompanying effect on my genetic score. We can see the portraits of my family members, the names, and how they were related to my person. We can also see over here the age at which they died and the gene score that this resulted in. Living until age 60 is ideal for raising gene scores, as well as yumming and living a productive life. Green means good and positive, and red means bad and negative. So if we scroll using the arrow keys, we can see here that one of my nephews died when they were 20, and another died when they were 1. Dying really early in life negatively impacts the score a lot, which is why it's bad when kids run away from the family. We can see here that the 1-year-old resulted in a -1 impact on my gene score, and then up here the 20-year-old was only a -0.37. Using the die command does not affect your gene score, so that's why it's preferred if you don't like where you're born to use the die command. We'll go back to the main menu now, but if this is confusing, please let me know down below if you have any questions. Continuing with the tour, we have the Friends button. Here it states that you can give this code to friends and get born together in the same family. You'll just copy and paste the twin code in something like Discord to do this. You can join as twins, triplets, or quadruplets, meaning you can play with up to 3 friends. You'll put in the same twin code together and then you'll click the login button so that you can be born together. We'll hop over here to settings. Here in settings, you can set your target frame rate, choose how you want the video and sound settings, as well as join the custom server. Up here in the right hand corner, we have the mouse pointer. I've changed mine to the drawn setting and increased the scale so it's easier to see the mouse pointer. And we'll go back to the main menu. In the center here, we have an illustration of the core game mechanic of using the left button to do most interactions and the right button to do actions like dropping things. We'll cover this more in the next video where I do the tutorial. Over here we have family trees. When we look at the family trees, it brings us back to the web page and it shows us the recent deaths from elders, adults, youth, as well as deep roots. I'm going to show you how to look into family trees. To do that, I'm going to look into Lucy Snow. This page can tell you a lot of information about the end of a family tree. Just looking at a glance, you can see the family member, how old they were when they died, and what caused them to die. This could be old age, starvation, sudden infant death, which is caused through the die command, or being bitten by a wolf, bear, or other hostile creature. Sometimes I like to look at the full family tree, and you can do that by clicking full tree. Here I have the full tree for the Snow family, where it started with Eve. Here you can see all sorts of different colors for the family tree, and it can tell you all sorts of information, but sometimes it's just fun to look at. Our last button is Tech, which takes us to OneTech. Looking at this page can be useful to learn about the combining mechanic in the game, since each item has a specific recipe to learn. This front page usually has the most recent items and their changes. So here we can see the bottle update. This was where we could put more bottled items on tables. If we scroll down a little, we can see the photographs update, where it was made possible for us to process and see photographs in the game. And then scrolling down a little bit more, we can see where Jason, the creator of the game, changed the bear mechanics to try to help stop griefing. So OneTech is important for learning how to play the game because sometimes there just isn't someone there to teach you how to do something. For example, to do the tutorial, we need to make a fire. It takes some time to learn how to read these recipes, but basically you can see here that kindling on burning tinder results in fire. You can trace this further back to see that to make kindling, you can use a stone hatchet on a stick. Another way you can see the various things you need to do is to click the Tech Tree button. Here we can see the tech tree for the fire, showing how to use the kindling, how to use the hatchet, and how to prepare the items. I'll show this more in depth in the next video since it's part of the tutorial anyway. So that was a thorough look into the game's main menu. While a lot of these buttons may seem unnecessary, there may come a time where you need to use one, so I wanted to make sure that you knew how each one works. Thank you for watching. Please let me know down below if you found this helpful and what other stuff you'd like to watch. Please watch out for my next video where I'll do a walkthrough of the tutorial. Bye!